My name is Engineer Austin. I work with MULTICONCEPT Nigeria Limited. We have been engaged in a project at Idimosa Housing Estate. These projects include the sports complex, the clubhouse, and the recreational centers where sporting activities can be carried out, which include the table tennis, the lawn tennis, the basketball, and the football pitch, just a small football pitch, like 5-a-side football pitch. So far we have been able to raise the sports complex to almost finishing level, which we are doing the wirings right now. We started this project, and by God's grace we'll be concluding it by the end of this month, or latest by December we should be done with this project. Right now the stage of work on the sports complex is the wiring. Of course, we encountered a lot of challenges there because of the topography of the land, so we had to step down the foundation. We will not be able to have a very high foundation, so we achieved that by stepping the foundation at intervals, so that we'll have a very good level at the finishing level. So after that we did some block works. We changed the building round. We call it integrated beam. This chaining of the building, what it actually does is to avoid indifference or to avoid different settlements of the building. So this integrated beam helps the building to settle uniformly so that there won't be any cracks at the long run. That's why we introduced this integrated beam. So after that we had the block work to the lintel level. Then we had to do a lintel round the building. We can call it a beam too, because it's acting as a lintel and a beam too. That's we are chaining it for the second time in order to still be safe in the building. So after that we had our block work to the finishing level. We had our beams and columns casted. Then we have our coping done round the building to bring out the aesthetics of the building. So now we are currently in the plastering process. We are trying to get the whole building plastered, both the interior and the exterior, while the electricians and the plumbers are working simultaneously. And of course we have already done the roofing too. We did a gable roof in the sports complex, and this gable roof is hidden in a parapet wall which was built around the sports complex. So these parapet walls now, due to the nature of the place, is an open space. There is tendency that there will be heavy wind around this section of the project. So what we did we had to raise the parapet walls in order to prevent this wind. Since we don't have any windbreaker, we'll have to raise this parapet wall to prevent this wind from any havoc on the roofing. So that's why we did a very high parapet wall to cover the roof. And that's also an aesthetics to the building, because while looking at the building it looks like it doesn't have a roof, but it actually have a roof. So right now the current activity going on site is the electrical work, the plastering, and the plumbing works. This clubhouse, we did a lot of iron works on it. Due to it's a commercial building, this suspended floor, we have a lot of beams. We introduced a lot of beams in it to carry the floor. It still has a cantilever. We reinforced this. All these were properly reinforced well in order not to have sagging or hugging bending moments that will act on it, that will cause all this variation or deviation in the structural aspects. So we put all this into consideration while doing that. The reinforcement we used is the Y16 for the columns. So this because it's carrying a lot of loads, so we had to use this Y16. To some places are 6 Y16, some are 4 Y16, depending on how the capacity of the load is carrying. So that's why we had variation of columns that have been used in the building. So all these we are putting into consideration while achieving this, so that this house is going to be a long-lasting house, at least a minimum of 50 years That's what a lifespan of building before we talk of any maintenance. So the major challenges we had on this site was the topography of the land. The topography of the land, because it's not everybody that can deal with this kind of topography. Due to the topography of the land, we had a little challenge of getting a close to table surface before all these our construction phases can take place. So we did filling, we had to fill the place in order to get a table or a close to table surface before we can do this construction. As you can see, the stage of work on all these places they are ongoing, and we are working tirelessly to meet this project timeline I stated earlier, which is by December everything should be ready.
My name is Engineer Nasser. As you can see, work is in progress. We started actually like a month back. We had to backfill the whole area and allow it to settle for some time. We actually faced some challenges because it was really raining, but thanks be to God, we have a good weather now, and work, as you can see, has started. We are having a slab of 34 meters by 18 meters for the tennis courts, and as you can see, the hard core and the wire mesh is already on it, and the workers are busy with the mixers. They are working as I'm speaking with you now. After this slab, the next slab that is coming is for the basketball court as well. It's the same size as well. After the basketball court, we have another one just ahead, which is the football pitch. The football pitch is a 40 by 20 meters as well. It's a small 5-a-side football pitch.